any root? Hey there. That's fine. It'll be fine.
All right.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
So this is a prose poem and written in the form of the little boxes that you see alongside websites or lawyers' contracts. Disclaimer. No word, thought, or metaphorical device in this poem should be considered poetic, no matter how shrewd, rhythmic, or clever it seems. No image of a great blue heron among tawny reeds or a golden wind of autumn leaves contained herein shall be deemed symbolic, much less pregnant with meaning, unless accompanied by a written statement by the author, hereinafter referred to as poet. Said statement must authenticate the purpose and intent of each image without embellishment or conceit in order to validate the poem, hereinafter known as the work. Poet shall be held liable should the work attempt rhyme, meter, alliteration, or assonance without the proper diction to pull it off. Whereas the poet purports to write poetry and presents the work as a poem, and whereas the words of the work are innocent until strung together, nonetheless no words whereof this work is made shall be held responsible for the reader's understandable dissatisfaction, the recourse of which is to turn the page. Marie Buckley.
Marie, where's the bad girl?
Shirley Plummer. There she is.
No.
I know, but I want to put my stuff down. No,
Oh, you know?
well, yes, it's not, I can't. Yeah, you know, because I can't see. Oh, dear. Yeah, a little closer. As I understand it, we have, what, 3 minutes? Oh, there we go. Even I can tell it's on. 1, 2, 3. Well, I can't see it. That lot of good these do. There. The title of this is Samsung, which in Sanskrit means passing, a passing through. The view from my window records changes in light, in the sun or rain, the clouds. A broader view would present more hovering, diving, skimming seabirds, seals and whales, each feeding in its fashion. Other searchers over the sea in helicopters, fishing boats dithered over by gulls. Residents going east or west to seek food or head home to roost, in spring making many trips to feed nestlings. Passages of birds in great numbers, tourists, and again whales, north or south by season. Over the land, eagles, hawks, ravens, crows, all hunting, snakes, frogs, small mammals, songbirds eating insects and seeds, hummingbirds in swooping courtship or drinking flowers' nectar. The holly berries reappear in the tree picked clean of red by marauding robins last spring. A few feet from my window, the holly tree blocks much of the view, and I can see only these few things: the sun, the rain, the holly tree. Though to feed my spirit, I sometimes go sit in the next room to oversee the full stage, the ongoing procession.
Found the
Yes,
chair.
we have a list.
Here.
Can you read the name?
Oh, yeah.
Then she'll get it for you.
Okay, where are we? Okay, Joan Dobbie. Dobbie. Dobbie.
Am I,
Would you like it back over here?
well, a little higher maybe or something? Not too much? Thank you, can you hear me? You hear me now? Okay. Some of you came to the reading just a little while ago from the book that I had helped co-edit called Before There Is Nowhere to Stand, Palestine, Israel, Poets Respond to the Struggle. So co-editing this book is like jumping into a war zone. And this is a poem I wrote in the middle of the night because of not sleeping from this. So it's called Blood and the Anthology. I'm trying to edit Poets Respond to the Palestine-Israel Struggle. Bloody clots of poem clutter my brain. The hungry baby, sleep, hides in a blood-stained corner and then leaps out for the light as if it were food. His mother yanks him from the window. Shattered glass lets in the wind and bullets pierce the kitchen wall. There is no fuel for the stove. All the children howl at once. The market has exploded. Another school bus has been struck. Careening off the highway bursts into flame. Wheels and children screech as one. Somebody's daughter is burning. Somebody's daughter will die. Retaliate, retaliate. There is no fuel for the stove, no food, no water for the children. All the children howl as one, and everywhere the bombs are striking home. Rocks fly from little boys' hands, useless as pebbles. My computer is choked up with other people's agony. My computer is bleeding. Only the red ink works. The clay I'm trying to mold into shape is oozing other people's blood. I cannot keep my clothes clean. It's a matter of diplomacy, which now, when it matters the most, evades me. Take Lila, for example. Her husband bent with cancer, her homeland crushed and bleeding, herself in exile, her poetry exquisite, her rage too huge for any vessel I can offer. No, 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 I will not throw my poems to the swine. Outside in the olive grove where children used to play, the bulldozers lumber forward like prehistoric beasts. More settlements are being built, more walls erected, more families uprooted. Rocks fly, bombs fall, a people is burning. Again the soldiers aim and fire. Blood is everywhere escaping. Shirley Sabina. It is, Sabena Stark. I thought I was number 26, but there have been changes. Thank you, Sabina.
Hi, I'm Sabena Stark. This is a piece that's a love song to Afro-Cuban music. It's called Salsa. Hands on skin, singing out, ka-toot-toot, ka-toot-toot. Ringing, spinning palito sticks, tapping between breaths, and firm steps of fingers on piano, dancing, dancing, twining each flower of sound like a trellis. Timbales crack, a bolt of lightning against tumbao's deep moaning. Chekere sizzling, hissing, whispering, bouncing through air, etching rhythm with each move, bursting above the garden of sound, growing up from earth, from hands, voices, clave with her strong stalks and thick roots, entwine, define, deliver, conga talks, cries, quinto laughs, shouts out messages, but bass in her sly dance grabs you by the belly, takes both thighs in her warm grip and won't let go. To Cameron.
I think you'll be able to hear me. Nope.
Here, I'll,
I only recently started writing poems again after about a 35-year hiatus. Coincidentally, I started remembering my dreams. This is called Marion. Marion stands in my dream holding open a book, her long, delicate fingers cradling the blue spine and binding. Her loose, languid form candidly composed, one arm artfully angled on her graceful hip, her lilting laugh and alto voice arresting in their clarity. Catching my eye, she approaches, sidling gently near, to let me peer at the open page. Touching hip to hip, thigh to thigh, deliberately, turning face to face, the book dropped to her side, she leans into me, sensing my arousal, hesitant at first, then responding, touching her, pressing into her warm, cotton-clothed flesh. Waking, I shudder. What fantastic dream is this that startles me to consciousness? Is it 30 years she's been gone, dead from breast cancer, before youth yielded to middle age and muddled memory? We were not close, collegial really, enjoyed each other's company, wit, a song at a light-hearted gathering. What text did she want me to decipher in that open volume? That surreal, erotic encounter, vivid but vaporous vision. I fumble and grope for meaning in the vacancy left by your warm form these many years.
So it's David Cooke.
David Cooke.
I'm not that tall. This poem's actually just been published online in Good, which is an Indian like compliment, like too good, and Tola, a Molotkov is editing it. And it's going month to month, and John Sibley was just in it. This is called To Be Read Before Waking. There is something to be said for the low angle of the sun, causing us to slope, to tilt, to the angle of repose, to growl at the cat's mewing, head pets, and 9 more minutes. There is something to be said when under blankets we warm our dreams against the thickening cold, our eyes like a screed of ice, kept closed to the breaking of light, keep dreams apart from thinking. There is something to be said in the tear-dropped hollow of a lowercase a, which fits like your thighs on my sideways lap, rump on my belly. Nothing to do makes a chalice of the day. There is something to be said every morning I wake under this sky of skeening ripples with guppies nibbling algae as we look at each other with silt in our eyes. Next up, Molotkov.
Hi guys, good to see everybody. A fabulous day. This one is called Compassion. Through the open window of attention, your breath comes in like a fragile hurricane. I tattoo a line on my skin, up the meridian, from you to the North Pole. Is the North condemned to remain on top? When I travel down the meridian, from snow to sand, as the ice of my breath melts, will you meet me there? Will you tell me your story? Thank you. John Sibley Williams next.
This microphone's getting a lot of action. I have a very loud voice. In the pitch, bright darkness.
Louder.
What a strange music sounds from the dead birds frozen to the wire. What novels are sewn into the creases of an old woman's face? What weeds take root under the love words that once burned into shared pillows? Everything in its makeup is a burning. I watch the old woman cry her warmest memories anew. Each dead bird take in the city's rot and burn it to song. And in the love, too. A conversation of flame. And in the face lent me by strangers, and the face that acts authentic. I have seen this God before, familiar as the fear of death, in each replanted field awaiting its next harvest, in the silo that sings its grain, yet embraces that first strike of lightning. Everything is a match tip, burning itself new. and still, the dead birds within us never shake free of joy. There we go. Kylie Emery.
There's too many tall people.
There's too many short people.
Here, sign up in order.
Okay, my name is Kylie Emery, and I actually wrote this poem today in the How to Write the Weird class, and it is called Fossilized Tornado Found Underground. A wide pit open to the blue desert sky. Hands swipe fruitlessly at sweaty foreheads. At last, the ancient ancestor of modern storms have been found. An archaeologist proclaimed, shading himself with his wing. A glance down reveals the crystal stone. Within, dust, wind, and small dinosaurs swirled about. Panic ensued as the daily acid rain fell. Tarps are thrown, and soon the dig resumed. Mitchell A. Main.
That's me, Michael.
You.
Michael, sorry, I couldn't really read.
Michael D. Main, actually. This is a poem called Beethoven. And for this one, you have to imagine Beethoven late at night at 3 a.m. Can't sleep. Who mastered nigh silent ear history's key-black, non-existent city. Led ivory, white snow, coroscope, mountain blue, holy gale descent. Why here? His query scoring with fury's stiletto-duped crepe heart. No answer to crown lead jewel, cutting through head arc unto hand. Brass hotbur gown, reverb forest, thundering timpani, Therese spring. Hail gods, barren stone, cavern hall sonata, bosom wet, beatitude raise. Her face in ashen glow, tear rush, soundboard rose, flaring star waves. Trailing symphoneuron, fortissimo, horror sheet, libretto wood storm. Sallow night greeting, death thrust, testament, chest swollen, stove fire. Wave, betrayal, trust, applause, afore it's done, where all is still to cry. To infinity's embracing bed, who goes, even death's lapel, blessing pen. World's desecration, rain sheet, podium, inchoate, eternal lips, his night. Thank you. Margot Lavoie.
I did, and very well done. More by Jackson. How long this is happening?
I wanted to go after John Sibley Williams, but didn't quite work out. Hurricane door. Time comes when you must step off the train that has been your life. You closed your eyes once in the sleeping car, and 40 years were gone. Now, place your feet firmly
on the platform, make at least this gesture, this first step into that hard wind always blowing across the world, blowing everything you once recognized gone, until what seems so solid turns to smoke, what seems permanent turns temporary and vanishes, leaving you with nothing but to pass clean through this station without luggage or the clothing of years, leaving you with nothing but to start again, find a boat perhaps, float out over the shallows and straight through some hurricane door, strange gate, blown open, caught in a mangrove sieve. Lost remnant of what once was, turned portal now, and change your only ticket. Thank you. Juilius Jortner.
Thank you.
You like it a little higher?
I think it's okay.
There you
I think it's okay.
go. It's okay.
Second adolescence. This time, like the first, mixes childhood and maturity. The direction may differ, but the cauldron seethes and experiments are afoot. Again, the task is to become. This time, to build him who soon will be saying goodbye on his way to the second nursery or on his way out that door. M.E. Hope. M.E. Hope.
Hollow sky. Say you swallow the moon like a wafer. Now suddenly the tides are in you. The bile rises and falls. First sickness and then relief. While the sickle hooks a rib, breath catches, you cough up moon dust. Then the moon makes itself a home in your spleen. Content in this organ that is needed and yet unneeded, it filters into the blood small craters and shadow, whole ideas of darkness and light. Each hour predicts eclipse. You spend your time looking for the stars that are only seen in perfect darkness, which are glimpsed only in Earth's shadow. People begin to watch you, predict planting dates and weather changes by your voice. The way you pause under the sun, a curious ally of daylight. You must stop walking into theaters, empty rooms, your glow frightening. And then you stand under the dark night sky, mourning the hole that has not been filled, feeling as empty as before.